Welcome back, guys, on my YouTube channel. Today I have, I think, an interesting video for many of you regarding Tripmasters and how, instead of using the sensor cable that's included with the Tripmaster, how we can use the OEM sensor cable that we already have on our bike. Here with me we have an FE350 2019 model on which I'm gonna build the full rally kit, and we'll make it really cool for the Motorbike Expo, which is a trade show that every year happens here in Italy. I'll leave you the links in the description. This bike we will fully build, and it will come with the black scheme. We are changing all the plastics in black, doing a custom seat cover, a custom graphic kit. But with no further ado, let's start the interesting part of today's video. Guys, before you smash me down in the comments, I need to apologize because I've drunk too much Monster Energy and I feel a bit drunk. So I called for all the video, I called them pliers, even though the proper name is crimping tool. So excuse me and enjoy the video. So let's say you have your RNS or ICO Tripmaster. You know that these cables break so easily. Many of you I've seen at races install them in the wrong way, so it's normal that they break, because you should never use zip ties when running the cable here near the fork. But today I'll show you a trick where either you can custom do it, or you can get directly the adapter cable and just plug it in your bike. Today we are not only gonna learn how to use our OEM sensor cable wire, but I'll also teach you the tools you need and how to wire anything using JST connectors, which are the OEM connectors you can find on most European bikes. I'll now take off the headlight and quickly show you which connectors I'm referring to. The JST connectors I'm referring to are these white connectors. They're used on most European brands, KTM, Husqvarna, Beta, TM, I think, and also some other brands that now I don't remember. But these connectors, I find them really useful because they're easy to plug in and take out and disconnect. They're water sealed, so they're very reliable. And many people don't know where to get these type of connectors and have no clue on how to properly wire these connectors. The first thing you will want to do is check where the sensor cable wire goes, because it goes inside the OEM dashboard. When we will make our adapter cable or connect our adapter cable, obviously we will no longer have the kilometers showing up on the speed on the OEM dashboard, but all the rest is gonna work. So all the indicators you have on the dashboard continue to work. We will disconnect this wire. You see it comes all the way here. Go to the connector and just press slightly and the connector comes out. Now we will make an adapter cable to directly plug in on the Tripmaster. The reason for wanting to utilize the OEM sensor cable is that I can guarantee you'll practically never end up with a broken wire, because it's sealed in this hard plastic, so it's very protected. That's why on all my builds I always want to use the OEM connector for the main Tripmaster, and then I'll run a second sensor cable for the second Tripmaster. Okay, the first thing you will want to do is to buy and retrieve one of these connectors, these M8 circular connectors that will then plug inside the Tripmaster. And on the other end, this is empty, but as I said, for the KTM Husqvarna, you can buy them from Rebel Exports already wired, so that you just have to plug in. But if, for example, you have a Beta bike, the sensor cable uses a different connector, so you might want to do it yourself. Be aware you can do it with cheap equipment, but since I find the wiring to be a very important part in preparing rally bikes, because a properly designed and built wiring will give you no headaches for a whole Dakar or for a whole rally. So for this reason, I use these JST pliers. These cost me a lot. This is around 500 euros. It's a made in Germany product, but I can tell you, it gives you, serious production quality. So just like you would find them directly on the bike, it gives you the same exact quality. And now I'll show you how. Another thing you'll probably want is a set of scissors like these that are used by electricians. And if you really want to do it at the pro level, even this that is a wire stripper. So with these three tools, now we will get our JST connector and these small pins and wire everything so that then we can plug it in on the bike and I can show you how it works with the Tripmaster. We will now strip down the cable seal and then access the small wires inside. You want to leave quite a bit of space so that then you can easily put in the connectors, and even if you go wrong and don't strip well the small wires, because it's very easy not to strip them properly, you still have chances before having to do this job again. Of these three wires, we won't need the white, so the white we will cut really at the start, and we will strip these two wires. To connect them to the small JST connector, you won't have to strip them much. On this tool, you can adjust how much you want to keep the wire long. Now we put in the first wire. I adjusted this so that I just lightly take off the tip. Do the same for the black wire. We'll get our pin, open the pliers, and we will go and place here on the central part the pin. Once it is in position, we will retract it. It's in place. We get our wire. We have to be very careful. You see that here on these pliers there is that metal part in the middle. We will want to put the tip of the wire on the other side and the seal on this front part so we get a perfect crimping. Now that we crimped the two pins, we will put a shrink tube so that we can seal everything and even the white wire that we cut at the start. We put through our shrink tube and now we are ready to plug in the pins inside the connector. To do this, we'll just have to push them inside and hear the click, and then they're in place. Now that we plugged in correctly and heard the click, we can put the shrink tube above the connector. I would usually then shrink the tube with a heat gun, but all the power outlets are being used by the lights and everything, so I'll use, the bivouac method, which is just with a lighter. We are now done with our adapter wire. Everything looks perfect, just as if you had bought it from a shop. We are ready to plug it in and check that everything functions with the Tripmaster. Now, to check that our sensor cable adapter wire for the Tripmaster works, we will plug it in the connector of the OEM sensor cable, and on the other side, we will go and connect it to our Tripmaster. You can't go wrong plugging it in, because on the RNS Tripmaster you have the gray connector is for the thumb switch, the black one is for the sensor cable, and the red one is for the power cable. We plug it in. Now, to do the check, this is a very important check because it will also tell you if your sensor cable is damaged and if it's working properly. What we will do is we will reset the Tripmaster. In this case, on the RNS, we keep both buttons held together. Now it shows 00. You will have to have here the decimal point because we have to now measure 10 meters. And this, to to become 1, so 10 meters, you have to do 5 rotations of the wheel. Before zeroing the Tripmaster, you want to find the position of the magnet on the wheel. All the enduro bikes have already a magnet on their wheel. We have it here, and then we will count 5 rotations. So we will have the magnet going in front of the sensor cable 5 times, and at the 5th rotation, this should change to 1. Let's see. We did 4 rotations, now it's the moment of truth. Let's see if the Tripmaster goes to 1. We did it. This means that now you're MacGyver level pro. Another way to check if the sensor cable is working is checking the speed, even though I prefer and find it more reliable and precise to use the 5 rotations and the actual Tripmaster. But now we'll see the speed here. It will speed up as I make the wheel spin. We've come almost to the end of this video. Potentially you could even do it with normal pliers, but I don't recommend it because these pins are so small and fragile that easily you'll end up breaking them. For rally kit companies, as always, leave me a tip because I'm making your life easier and giving you ideas. I know you keep having fun copying my products, but come on guys, at least give me a like since you're copying my products. I really hope this video actually has helped you in building your rally bike for the next rally, for the next adventure, because I guarantee you the OEM sensor cable on your bike is super reliable and you'll never have problems with your Tripmaster. Clearly, the pliers to do the job properly are very expensive. Here in the workshop building rally bikes for Dakar and for adventure riding, I really want to have all the top tools so that I can do a perfect job, as you've seen making this wire. You know, on wiring, saving money, and then you're spending 3,000–4,000 euros for a rally, and maybe, you know, you up your result because of a broken sensor cable or a broken wire is not really worth it. So the 500 euros I spent on those pliers were really worth it. Thank you all guys for watching as always. Once I'll be finished with this bike, I'll bring you a video showcasing what I will have installed. We have lots of other projects, and also I want to show you quickly a new partnership with a new company I made in the tech industry, because for those that don't know, I'm a super nerd, so I really love tools. I really love anything that has to do with technology, and I think that this tool that I'm gonna quickly show you is something super useful for the bivouac. These are the products. The company is Goal Zero, a US-based company, and they make portable power stations. These not only I will use to use tools when I'm in the bivouac, when I'm in some paddock at some race, but also we will probably use them to make some nice photos and use the fog machine outside without having to bring with us a big generator. I'll tell you more in one of the next videos about these products, but let me know in the comments if you already know about these portable power stations that can be charged with solar panels, if you have used them, and if you want me to bring you like a proper review where I go to some race or I go somewhere and show them in action. See you soon. I'm trying to keep at least one video a week. I'm almost managing every week, so see you next week. Ciao.